So, hello and welcome back to another episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. Today it is going to be about something. I don't know yet what it is going to be about, probably about another book summary. I'm going to start a new one. And as funny as it is, I'm uploading two things simultaneously and I'm streaming. And apparently it is working. For whatever reason, it is fine. I don't really know, but I'm really glad that this is the case and that it is what it is. I might build this a bit higher. I'm kind of working out to have a bit of a better quality. So that it just sounds a bit better, you know? That I might also get into getting a microphone. Might do that. I might also just try to use those things that I'm already having, which I'm a big fan of. Just using what you have and letting the creative speak, which and also your skills speak. In this case, maybe my speak or my speech speak, and having valuable content, having valuable things to say, having valuable things to review, which I think is always gonna top high production value. If I'm providing something that is incredibly important for someone, this person is going to consume the content. The person is going to consume whatever I'm providing. Unless I would argue it is just completely whack and complete shit. You know? If it is unconsumable, well, of course, this person is not going to deal with it. The person is not going to be willing to do that. And I also clearly understand that as well, but I'm not that happy with how things are. Might do it like this, but yeah, maybe also just not having all this echo here. Let us see. The last one was Moral Sayings by Publilius Rufus, which I have closed apparently. Moral Sayings. And so let's see again what we are having here. There we go. So let's go to notes. I'm, by the way, on the netaliason.com site, which is one of the best resources, I would say. I do want to underline and emphasize one of the best resources for book summaries / actually book notes. It's not entirely summaries, but they can give you a pretty good glimpse as into what this book is going to be about, and so on and so forth. Makes sense, is good, is important, is great. Let me see. Principles is a very good book. I have really enjoyed it, and probably some books I went through multiple times, and I also have reviewed multiple books multiple times on the podcast, because they're just really fucking amazing and I enjoy them and I really like them. What Everybody is Saying, Made to Stick Difference by Young Mi Moon, Accelerando. One of my favorite pieces of science fiction, fantastic adventure through the singularity. I design your work. I don't know this one, I guess. It is also worth mentioning, going to those websites multiple times a year, maybe even a month. Some people do add books on a regular basis. Some sites are a bit slow, but you know, these are human beings. So it is always great to see new good rated books by these people. And the good thing as well is, if they rate a book very highly, you can almost be sure that it is a great book, because they went through so many books. They know what is great. Of course, there are personal preferences. You know, there are certain things that some people like and some people dislike, which is always going to be the case. It's always going to be that. And but still, these people know what they're talking about. These people know what is good and what isn't. So let's actually see what this book is about. So Design Your WorkPraxis Volume 1. Maybe even praxis. I don't know. I don't know that praxis is an English word anyway. By Tiago Forte. Some of the best writing on productivity and knowledge management that I have found. Definitely worth reading through, and since it is a series of essays, you can easily jump around if any of them doesn't speak to you, which is in general a form of books that I highly enjoy and find very useful. If there's something that just does not speak to you, you think is dumb and not worth reading, just skip it. And you know that you're not going to miss out on something very important. It is just one part of the whole book. It's just one essay. It's just a paragraph quite. You see, I have the right to know what I think. All my ideas sound brilliant in the echo chamber of my own mind. It is only when I put down my thoughts, letting them stand on their own strength, that I start to see the cracks and imperfections. It actually goes beyond this. I have the right to think, otherwise the same old ideas keep circulating around and around, clogging the synapses. Writing is not a result of thinking, it is thinking itself, scaffolded by the external props of a keyboard and the screen. 10 days of Vipassana. Sitting in a dark room for 10 days and peeling away layer after layer of my perception, I had to discover firsthand a truth that seems both obvious and far too good to be true. That the default state of the human mind is happiness. That is why happiness is not an achievement to be attained. Every single thing you add merely obscures what is already there. Do you know what they found to be the number one predictor of unhappiness across the entire study? Not paying attention to what and were doing. And it didn't matter if the thing you were thinking about was more positive and negative than what you were doing. Just the fact of not being present was the cause. Now think of the implications for a society where none of us is truly paying attention to anything we do. Every time you respond to a distraction, well, I do want to very quickly cover that. I think this is entirely true, and one of those things that I'm really trying to work on, paying attention to what I'm doing, and really not necessarily enjoying my day, but living my day. Not always being in my head, not always just, not always having such a fast life. I myself feel like I'm having such a fast life that sometimes, and actually very often, I do not really get my life. One day passes, the next day passes, then the next day passes, and so on and so forth, until some days come or some periods of time come where things are not as enjoyable. When I'm having exams, when I'm having to work, when there's shit going on. Of course, there's ups and downs and times that you enjoy more and times that you enjoy less. But in general, whether it is an amazing day, a regular day, or a bad day, one should live it. Really live it, and one should also feel this day. Of course, I'm also having very bad days. Very, very bad days. And on the other hand, there are some days that are fucking amazing and I really enjoy them. But I need to start. And one needs to start really indulging also the bad days, to be able to see the good days on one hand, to feel the good days as good as they are, and also enjoy them as much as you can. It is entirely about this indulgence, about this focusing on, about this actually seeing it and feeling it, that needs to be done. At least in my point of view. Of course, points of view differ, obviously, but yeah. Every time you respond to a distraction, a new email in your inbox, a notification on your phone, a red badge on an app, you are training your mind to value the new or at the expense of the important. But what if depriving pain of much of its power was as simply as paying attention to it? Anger, doubt, shame, envy, vengeance, all these feelings have such a hold over us only because they operate in the dark. Shine a light on them and they wither. For now, that means 1 hour of meditation per day. In the morning, it is less than the 2 hours they recommend, but still a challenge. Yes, 1 hour a day is indeed a challenge, especially when you're having to work and whatnot and you really do not want to make time for it quite. I want to underline wanna make time for it, because most often we all can do so. If you really want to do so, we can, but most often we just don't want to do that. We don't want to take the time and put it into meditation, because it might not be as enjoyable, but the feeling afterwards is very enjoyable as far as I have seen throughout the years. And I do really want to make this practice more prominent in my life, more dominant in my life. But yeah, important. It's a good one. I can heavily recommend meditation. It's not for everyone. Not everyone is willing to do so and is maybe even gonna like it. But I do enjoy it. I do like it. Maybe this is just one of those times of my day where I'm able to calm down and actually see and indulge the present and also the moment. Shining a light on things. This may be the exact same thing as writing things down. In our mind, things seem to be so amazing, so great, or on the other hand, so painful, so bad, and so detrimental. But when we write things down, we can see and think more clearly. And sometimes we see in this more clear view, or feel in this more clear view, that whatever is in front of us is actually not that bad or not that good. Therefore, also, I do really believe, and I have read it so often up to this point, writing things down is a good idea. Really is. What is wrong with productivity? Productivity can no more be achieved by collecting productivity tips than wealth can be achieved by collecting money, saving tips, or health can be achieved by collecting health tips. Praxeology, theory of practical action. But perfectionism has now been shown to be an underappreciated risk factor in suicide. Stories of burnouts with long-lasting physical and psychological consequences are slowly becoming more commonplace. Unfortunately, this is the case, but I think it is a mindset. It really highly depends on how you think about things, at least at my point of view. And as I have seen things, whether you quote-unquote enjoy a stressful situation or stressful times, or whether you actually are indeed going to burn out. As Albert Einstein purportedly put it, you can never solve a problem on the level on which it was created. Think we will find that many of the problems we are facing with our stagnating productivity and wages will not be solved by more technology, nor by improved workflows, but by a deeper reassessment of what really matters in our pursuit of success. This is a great line, but I would really like to know what the author is heading towards. Is it about changing the way we see success? What is success for us? Or is it about something else? Would actually be highly interesting. But yeah, with that being said, I'm probably going to end the episode here. I'll hopefully see you soon. Bye bye, have a nice day, and take care.